Welcome to another episode, guys, of Nourish the Mind, where this program speaks about the mind, the body, and the spirit. Guys, if you have been with me for a while, peace and love. Thank you all for your continuous support. And if you're new to this channel, thank you so much for joining in, and I hope that you will stay. All right, so for this week topic, I'm going to speak about the heart of letting go. And the reason for that is a friend of mine asked me some time ago to do a video about letting go. To do a video that was authentic about letting go. So I realized that I myself had some inner work to do. So I'm going to speak right now from a place where I have done the work. So I'm coming from a place of experience within myself. All right, so stay tuned, guys. I will be right back.
Take a breath. If I could, I make me feel less.
Okay, so thank you for joining me back. We are on the topic of letting go. With this one is a big one, especially if you're a Caribbean person like myself from the island. You'll know that we at times when we hold on pan things, we not let it go, and when we tell ourselves that that's it, we cut off a person and we're done with them years upon years upon years. We might just live up to a word, look back, we not talk back, we just keep that resentment in, and we just keep on muscling up and going. And for a long time we have done that, and we thought that was the right way and the right thing. But I've realized that people that keep a lot of resentment in and keep bundling it up at times, they come off more aggressive a lot of times. They come off more harsh. They come off a bit more critical, and they come off a bit more negative. And stay with me, I'm getting there. They come off a lot more negative. And as I do the work on myself, I realize that it's not so much as what's going on outside. I mean, don't get me wrong, people hurt you and it hurts, and things happen sometimes, and certain things that happens, it will take years. It's almost like it's unforgivable, but at the same time, when we do inner work, and when I talk about inner work, guys, let me sit up for this one. When I talk about inner work is one of the hardest things that you're gonna have to do, because it's a lot of self-work. And when I tell you that it's a lot of self-work, it's not like you're gonna lock up in your house and sit down and watch TV, or you're gonna be alone on your tablet or your laptop or be distracted. No, this is work that you're gonna lay down or sit down, however, in the silence of the moment, and tap into your mind, tap into your heart, or tap into the soul itself, and ask yourself some really serious questions. And some of those questions can be about what is happening externally, or it can be what's happening internally. Because resentment doesn't always come from outside, like somebody did something to us and it hurt us so much, whether it be our parents, our siblings, our partners, our spouses, our husband or wife, our bosses. There's so many different layers of it. But sometimes some of the biggest resentment, it's actually coming from being self-critical, having all these feelings store up inside you, because you yourself sometimes feel that you have let your own self down, but sometimes we're not really honest about it, and sometimes it stems from things that happen in our childhood, because a lot of times things happen, it's not like things just happen in this moment and that's what makes us resent or be this way. A lot of times it's stemming from something that happened in our childhood, and then something that happened now in the present. It like collides, it ties together, so it's like a series of things coming up, right? And then you just keep that pain on yourself. But things that happen to us, a lot of times we don't deal with it. Hear me out. We don't deal with it. And let me give you an analogy. Let me tell you what we do a lot of times. Even us as Jamaican, our people in general. We have a house and the house get dirty. And this is just an analogy. The house get dirty and we can't find the time to clean it because we're so occupied with either going to work, with doing other things, with juggling kids, with juggling projects, and so many different layers of things that we don't take any time to tidy that area, scoop up that mess right there, and we keep on piling other mess in. And sometimes we brush it under the sofa and we throw some clothes at the side and we kick it to the side. No, you know what's gonna happen over time? That house is not gonna be functionable. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be a mess. And a lot of times, a lot of us are going through life and our inside is a mess. Listen, I've been there. Not so much as the house, but my inside was a mess. A lot of times we go through life and our inside is a mess because we haven't done certain work. Certain things happen to us. Stay with me. A person wrong us or something terrible happened to us and we suppress it. We push it under the rug and we say it never happened, or I don't care about this, or I don't care about that person, and we keep on going through. And then something else happened and we repeat the same cycle and we do the same thing and we keep on going through our life. And eventually it creates just a big mess within us. And we become resentful over time. And that resentment a lot of time is because we haven't stopped to do the work. Now, when something happens to us, and I'm not saying that something happened to us, we're supposed to run to that person or run to this person. But sometimes we can sit down and really think about it. And not just think about it one way only, but think about it from different angles and aspects. And especially think about, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel so strongly about this? Because remember, there's no one man that is perfect besides God himself. There's no man on this earth that is perfect or going to operate in a way that shows that they're flawless. You know, people are flawed. Nature is flawed. So with that said, it is important for us to give ourselves some grace. Because sometimes we don't do that. We need to give ourselves some grace. We need to give ourselves some compassion. Sometimes spending that quality time with yourself and doing some self-work. You know, I broke some promises to myself and I'm feeling down inside. I feel critical. I feel hateful. I don't feel pretty enough. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. And those feelings stem from us not giving ourselves much grace and compassion. Because the thing is, when you start to give yourself grace and compassion and start dealing with things in a certain way, like this thing happened to us, you know, the situation could have been worse. Look for the small win in some small things, because whatever it is, and no matter how great, there's always something good. If we screen, we will find it. You know, this could have been extremely worse, but look for those small increments of things that, you know, because of that happened, this is not what happened, and actually this is good. When you start looking for good in certain situations, you realize that more goodness starts to come. You start to recognize it easier. And you start to see that your conversation with people start to get better. You see the way you speak to yourself start to flow better. You see that if somebody wrong you, you get over it much quicker. Because you're clearing space within. You're clearing up. And the more you clear up from within, it's the more the universe reshape things around you, and then things start to flow. The natural energy, the natural order of things starts to flow. And your body is in sync, the mind, the body, and the spirit. When the mind, the body, and the spirit is in sync, which gives you that oneness, things starts to flow. And guys, I've learned this the hard way, because even if I was spending time alone, my mind wouldn't shut up. I would be alone, but my mind would be talking, you know, stuff would still be going on. So I had to learn a lot of these tools and a lot of these information that I now have the hard way, that sometimes it's just about you. Everything in this universe starting with you. You're the thought, you're the cell. And in order to create anything and in order to change anything, it goes right back to you. You know, it doesn't make sense we have resentment for each other, or resentment for things that happened to us in the past. We're only holding ourselves as prisoners to those feelings, and we're caging ourselves while life keeps going on and everybody else keeps living. And if something happens and 20 years after you're seeing that person and those same feelings are emerging or spiraling, that simply says that you haven't done the inner work. You haven't revisited the situation and tried to find out what was the lesson in it for you. And sometimes when we do, we can see that we're wrong too, but you know, but a lot of times we don't like to take accountability, because taking accountability sometimes it's like somebody pointing at you and telling you that you're wrong. But in order for anything to change, especially within yourself or within your surrounding, you have to take accountability. You have to say that I was wrong, I did this and I should have done that, or I could have said something better and different. And from that place now, you start to work yourself. Say, okay, so that's what happened. What happens now? What happens now? And you start to live in the now. And it's not that you're not gonna screw up, because nobody not perfect. Remember, I said that. And it's not like I am not gonna screw up. I'm still gonna make mistakes. I'm human, you know. You're still gonna make mistakes. You're human. But oftentimes we have to revisit back that self. We have to do back that inner work. And I'm gonna use back the analogy of the house. So you clean your house now, right? You clean up space and you make energy start flow and all of that. The house are gonna eventually get dirty again at some point. And when that house get dirty again at some point, you're gonna have to revisit. You're gonna have to get back your cleaning supplies and, you know, do your spring cleaning, or whatever time you do your cleaning. You have to go do some cleaning. So it's the same cycle, guys, within ourselves. We don't get these information, but they're very, 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 very vital. And that's why I'm stressing it so much, that inner work, it's more important than outer work. No matter what the job that you have, it could be a job of a CEO or whatever it is, one of those elite jobs, a doctor or whatever. The inner work is much more important than the outer work, because the inner work is going to give you the capability of doing a better outer work. So always revisit back yourself. Always go back to cleaning up space, and somebody do something to you. Don't just sweep it under the rug and jump over it and don't talk about it, you know. Clear up space. And if the cycle keeps repeating itself, if this person keeps doing the same thing over and over and over, then guess what? Just take away yourself. Simple. Take away yourself. Your peace of mind is worth more than any amount of money in this world. Because, listen, there's a lot of people in this world today. They have money. They have resources. But they don't have the peace of mind. You know, they don't have that contentment within themselves. They're not at peace. And peace is very important. Everything stems from peace. All right? So clear up that space within. Let's clear up that space within. And when it gets back toxic and messy, let's go back, let's revisit, let's clear it up, and let's move on. And if, you know, something happens 20 years ago, you see the person and the feeling is different, but they still have resentment on towards you, then that's not your place, that's not your position, that's not up to you to do anything. That's up to them now to do their inner work. You have to make peace with you, and when you make peace with you, then everything starts to flow. All right, so that's it, guys. I hope somebody enjoyed something, I hope somebody got something, I hope somebody learned something. And if you did, guys, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That's what keeps the channel going. Until next time, I say peace and love.
Slow down, hold on, take a breath. If I could, I'd make me feel less. Something in my brain causes stress. So come on, make me feel different.